Well, you know what other movie I started watching 2 days ago?
What's that?
It's a film about a musician named Elvis.
Oh, God.
And I get about 50 minutes into this movie. And
he hasn't even killed anyone yet. That's the other movie.
I get 50 minutes in this movie, and I'm wondering, where the hell is Tom Hanks?
Really?
Yeah.
Honestly?
I'm like, where is the hip-hop soundtrack? Where is, like, Rose McGowan looks so young. What the hell is going on in this movie? Why is the Terminator in it? And he also looks young. And I'm like 50 minutes in this movie. I'm like, this is a pretty good biopic, but like I'm very, how is this a Baz Luhrmann movie? I don't understand this.
Oh, the first 15 minutes are very much Baz Luhrmann with like
I was not watching the Baz Luhrmann Elvis. I was watching a different biopic of Elvis. I don't know how. I was watching it on my friend's Plex server instead of on the internet. And so I'm watching this movie and I'm like, oh, this is interesting about Elvis. I didn't know any of these things. And it's good. It's restrained. Like they use Elvis actually singing, like in the Weird Al movie. Like they're doing his vocals. Yeah. And, he's doing a kind of restrained leg wobble, but the girls are still going crazy, like ah. And I got to the point where he's like banging chicks and like wandering around, and I'm like, this Colonel character, isn't this who Tom? I'm like, when does he leave and Tom Hanks' character? I honestly, I was so confused. I'm like, isn't there something? I heard about a hip hop soundtrack. What the hell's going on? So I'm watching this movie and I'm just like, okay, I don't get it. And it starts in like 1968, and they're like, and he's like, I'm nervous. I haven't gone in 7 years. And so then they cut to like 1953, and I'm like, okay. And they show his like rise and how he's. And they show how the Colonel's like messing him over in like a very restrained way. The Colonel's like clearly fucking him over, but in ways that Elvis would naturally think, this. And he's like, the Colonel's like asking his parents' permission. All these things are happening, and the Terminator is his dad.
Robert Patrick Terminator?
Yes.
Okay.
And
not Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah. and they're just like,
Son, you'll never be a musician.
And I stopped. I was falling asleep, but I stopped. It was bedtime. Yeah. And I stopped where he was
8:30.
He'd just gone on the Milton Berle show. And
he wakes up, him sing to the Hound Dog.
But no, he does sing. He does things, and then he leaves. No, the Milton Berle isn't the one where they make him sing.
Oh, that's the Steve Allen one.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's the first one. When in the morning they get the papers, and all these papers are ridiculing him, and they're like, Elvis Presley's awful. Elvis Presley should not be allowed on stage. Ed Sullivan says Elvis Presley will never be allowed on his show.
Right, yeah.
And they're going through all the papers, and Elvis is like, I don't want to hear it. And the Colonel's like, any press is good press. And I'm like, he's right. And then I turn off the movie. And then the next day, I'm like, I'm not going to watch this on my friend's server because he doesn't have subtitles. So I'm going to watch this on HBO Max. And I fast forward 50 minutes in, and I don't know what the hell's going on. I fast forward to the point where he'd just been on the Milton Berle show.
Yes.
And the senator in that show was like, what are those children watching? Why are they giggling? And that's where I start. And then it's going through all these things. I'm like, what the F? And so I go back to the beginning. Oh my God. Lars Berman's Elvis sucks. It sucks. It sucks so bad. The entire time, there is never a non-cacophonous moment. He often has 3 different songs playing at the same time. How can you do that? My ears are blasting out, and characters will be saying things and doing things at the same time, and it's cutting. The cuts. Have you ever seen that cut of Taken 3 with Liam Neeson, Leslie Nielsen, jumping over a fence? They counted 49 frame cuts for him jumping over a fence in Taken 3.
Oh my God.
Lars Berman.
Lars
Berman must be absolutely like, he must have seen that and thought, I can beat that. Because it is cut. And the scene where Elvis, as a kid, goes to the nightclub thing. He looks at it.
Oh yeah.
And then he looks across the street. And there's the gospel music, and he's like, nightclub, gospel, nightclub, gospel. And then he goes there, and it's like, cut. Meanwhile, both the songs are playing at the same effing time, and it drove me insane. Yeah, none of these characters, it was just cuts and cacophony.
All right, so it is, and I have a review of the movie, my personal take on it, on the channel. It did pretty well, so thanks everybody for watching that. Where my big problem is the first 15, 20 minutes was like Baz.
I got 50 minutes in and I was still mad.
You made it 50?
I think so. It was either 40 or 50.
So I think after they get through that and it slows down a little bit, I thought it was much more like, well, I thought Tom Hanks is the current. Well, I don't have to rehash this. It's already up there.
No. You know, I was just
I agree. I
stopped
agree. The
watching
beginning
it,
is
and I was
tough to watch. But that's awesome that you watched the other, different Elvis movie.
I was like, go to HBO Max. I'm like, I'm gonna watch it because it was actually titled on my friend's server. Because he there's curated lists of movies that he automatically downloads. God. And I thought that one was going pretty well. I was like, man, I'm actually interested in Elvis' story. Like, this is a really good biopic. Wrong. Actually, I'm probably right. Maybe that one is good. I don't know what the reviews are like for that old one. I don't even know what year it came out, but I was enjoying it. So if you're gonna watch an Elvis biopic, watch that one.
All right,
don't blast your eardrums out with Baz Luhrmann's narcissism.
I mean, that's just sage advice in general.
All right, I'm done. I'm done.
We got it. Thanks.
Get this out of here.